Hawaii, a land of beauty where the beach sands are as fine as sugar. The water is like warm silk, and cooling trade winds rattle the curving cocoa palms. Feathery waterfalls, tropical rainforests, and spectacular scenery make all the islands a picture postcard. You feel the presence of ancient island gods, even in places that are bursting with commercial growth. Aloha, and welcome to paradise. I'm James Farentino, and on this very special McNally video trip, I'll show you around the Hawaiian Islands. Aloha.
Aloha.
Oh, thank you. With all its vitality, Hawaii retains the gentleness, warmth, and hospitality that has become famed around the world as the Aloha spirit. During the next hour, we'll visit the 4 largest Hawaiian islands: Oahu, Kauai, Maui, and the Big Island of Hawaii. These islands are a flowery chain reaching over 400 miles of blue Pacific, from Kauai on the northwest to Hawaii in the southeast. Contrary to what you may think, the Hawaiian Islands aren't in the South Pacific. They're actually north of the equator at a latitude about even with Mexico City. Paradise is 2,500 miles from the United States West Coast. That's about a 5-hour flight, or it's about 10 hours from the eastern United States. The islands are only minutes apart by air, yet each is different. During our visit, you'll discover that special feeling each island generates, and I'll show you what there is to see and do. In the final part of our program, I'll share some special tips to make your trip easier and to help you make the most of your vacation time and money. First, let's visit the island of Oahu, the gathering place. The island is the 3rd largest in the chain, only 44 miles long and 30 miles wide. The main city is Honolulu, the state capital. 80% of Hawaii's 1 million residents live here. Waikiki is where the action is. The beach at Waikiki is one of the most exciting and entertaining places to vacation in the world. This is where boy meets girl, grandmothers meet the hula, and hundreds of middle-aged men suffer through days of holding their stomachs in. The major gathering place is Waikiki Beach itself. The surf is gentle, the beach is protected by outlying reefs. The 70-degree water is great for swimming, learning to ride a surfboard, or taking a catamaran or outrigger canoe ride. The warm beach sands are perfect for working on your tan and for people watching. And there are always plenty of people to watch. On a typical day, there are about 60,000 vacationers in Waikiki, ranging from lily white first-dayers to bright pink from sunburned second-dayers, to those eternally tan guys and girls I suspect are put here by the Hawaii Visitors Bureau. Another popular activity in Waikiki is searching for that perfect souvenir. Within a few blocks, there are several outstanding shopping centers. You can find Aloha shirts, bathing suits, jewelry, and of course, those great muumuus. You know, an old saying goes, a muumuu is like your bank account. You know there's something in there. You just don't know how much. And don't pass up the free Kodak Hula show, held near the Waikiki Shell. This 1-hour show features hula dancers, demonstrations, and even hula lessons for the spectators. After the show, the kids will enjoy a visit to the nearby Waikiki Aquarium and the Honolulu Zoo. Looking over Waikiki is one of Hawaii's most famous landmarks, Diamond Head. A hike to the top is an experience you shouldn't miss. When the sun sets at Waikiki, hotel nightclubs sparkle with big-name entertainers, dancing, and excellent Polynesian reviews. The traditional luau is something most visitors enjoy. They have all-you-can-eat buffets featuring kailua pig, fruity drinks, and a traditional Polynesian show with grass skirts and ukuleles. You know, many visitors to Oahu never wander far from Waikiki, yet it's a great experience to get out and see the rest of the island. So let's start our tour in downtown Honolulu. To sharpen your sense of history, spend part of a day in Honolulu and at several major sites nearby. Downtown, visit the beautiful state capitol and the Bishop Museum, which houses the greatest collection of Hawaiian cultural and natural history specimens in the world. The Iolani Palace is the only royal palace in the United States. Visitors are issued booties to cover their shoes. They don't want you scratching the highly polished floors. The King Kamehameha statue is one of the most photographed spots on the island. Outside the immediate downtown area, visit Punchbowl Crater, located in the crater of an extinct volcano. The National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific is the final resting place for over 26,000 servicemen and women. Oahu visitors should visit Pearl Harbor and the USS Arizona National Memorial. Here you get a feeling for the Day of Infamy, December 7th, 1941, when Pearl Harbor was attacked by the Japanese. The United States Navy conducts a tour where you actually go on the Arizona Memorial. There are displays and a film to view in the visitor center while you wait for your launch. There also are 2 commercial cruises where you view the memorial but not board it. Your tour around Oahu begins at Hanauma Bay, a sea life refuge on the other side of Koko Head. This emerald green bay is a snorkeler's delight. Brightly colored fish swim up to look at you through your face mask. The wave action is gentle, so anyone can feel at ease. Not far away is the Halona Blowhole, a lava tube where onrushing waves produce a water geyser. It's worth a short stop and a photo. Sea Life Park is also in this part of Oahu. Here you can see 2,000 species of fish in the giant Hawaiian reef tank. Watch performing dolphins and comical penguins. At Whalers Cove, enjoy trained whales, and lectures on oceanography are given every day. You know, Hawaiians have a lot of superstitions. For instance, don't ask someone where they go fishing. The fish may hear and hide. And don't whistle at night. You may wake up the evil spirits. Such lore and living is displayed on the windward side of Oahu at the Polynesian Cultural Center, an entertainment center operated by the Mormon Church. It's an hour's drive from Honolulu. Through the tunnels of the Pali, those cliffs where King Kamehameha dropped off his enemies, the center is built around a lagoon, with model villages from the Tonga Islands, from Tahiti, a Maori village from New Zealand, and a Marquesian village. There is a Hawaiian village, a Samoan village, and a Fiji village. In each village, aspects of each culture are demonstrated and explained. There's the pageant of the long canoes, and you can have a Polynesian dinner and watch a show with 160 native dancers, the real thing by torchlight. Just down the road are the famous North Beaches of Oahu, where winter winds push waves up to 30 feet high. Only the most expert surfers should try these waves. If you come here in the summer, the sea is fine for swimming and snorkeling. Nearby Waimea Falls Park is an 1,800-acre nature preserve. An ancient hula show is performed several times daily. Returning to Honolulu, you pass through Oahu's pineapple country. You could taste freshly picked pineapple at the Dole Pineapple Pavilion or the Del Monte Pineapple Variety Garden. For golfers, there are 28 courses on Oahu. Some of the best, however, are private, and you'll have trouble getting on unless your home club has reciprocal privileges. Your hotel can help you find a course suitable for your own budget and handicap level.
Oahu is the most tourist-oriented, high-energy, and most expensive island in Hawaii. Waikiki is the center of activity and excitement, and you will definitely want to spend some time here, especially if it's your first trip to the islands.
Among the shouldn't-miss attractions on Oahu are the USS Arizona Memorial, the Iolani Palace Tours, the Bishop Museum, snorkeling in Hana Bay, the Polynesian Cultural Center, and watching the parade at Waikiki.
The Hawaiian Islands have over 5 million visitors a year, but their popularity isn't something new. The islands have an exciting past, and I think you'll enjoy your trip more if you know a little of the history here.
The Hawaiian Islands were formed over millions of years by volcanoes pushing up from the ocean floor. Actually, each island is the tip of a massive mountain. The Big Island of Hawaii is the newest island in the chain and is still being built by 2 active volcanoes. The first residents are believed to have arrived about 750 AD. They came in large outrigger canoes from the Marquesas Islands, some 2,800 miles to the south. About 500 or 600 years later, a second migration took place, this time from Tahiti, and these new immigrants enslaved the original residents. From their earliest days, the islands were divided into tribes, and local wars raged constantly as opposing kings battled for land and power. Kamehameha the Great, king of the Big Island, invaded Maui in 1790. He continued bloody inter-island wars until finally in 1810, he unified all the islands under his rule. During the 1800s, several factors shaped the future of the islands and the Hawaiian people. Among the most influential were the arrival of the Calvinist missionaries from New England, the growth of the whaling industry, and the development of the pineapple and sugarcane plantations. Each contributed in its own way to the decline of the Hawaiian culture. At the same time, immigrants from Asia and other parts of the world arrived, bringing their own cultures with them. During the 20th century, the territory thrived economically and grew in importance because of its strategic location in the Pacific Ocean. In 1959, Hawaii became the 50th United State.
72 miles northwest of Oahu is Kauai, the 4th largest and oldest of the islands, and it's also the greenest. Here, the wettest spot on Earth, the top of Mount Waialeale, has over 450 inches of rain each year. Don't worry, though. The tourist areas don't get any more rain than Waikiki.
It's called a Garden Isle, with flowering vines, shrubs, and trees constantly in bloom year-round. And it's one of the most popular spots in the world for shooting movies. Plan at least 2 days on Kauai just to see the most popular areas. Life moves at a slower pace than on Oahu or Maui, and this may be where you find your own paradise. There are 3 main resort areas on the island. the Lihue Wailua Kapa'a region, Princeville and Hanalei on the north shore, and the Poipu Beach area on the south shore. Any of these can be a convenient center for your stay, as the island is only 38 miles long and 25 miles wide. Lihue itself is an old plantation town, and its history provides much of its charm. To learn more, visit the Kauai Museum or the Grove Farm Homestead Museum. Since you can't drive entirely around Kauai, plan 2 full-day sightseeing excursions. To the west, there's the trip to Waimea Canyon, but if it's foggy, take the northern trip to Road's End at Hana. Either trip is about 40 miles each way from Lihue. If the weather's clear, don't miss seeing Waimea Canyon. From Lihue, you'll go through several towns worth exploring, past some of the best beaches on the island, and finally to a massive and picturesque canyon. Waimea Canyon is 10 miles long and over 3,600 feet deep and a mile wide in spots. Called the Grand Canyon of the Pacific, it offers magnificent views of multicolored rock strata and is especially photogenic in the early morning and late afternoon. If you go early in the morning, you can beat the tour buses to the prime viewing spots. Continue on past the canyon to Kukei State Park and the Kalalau Valley Lookout. The view from here is one of the most beautiful on Kauai. On your way back, Poipu Beach is the place to relax with a cool drink while watching a beautiful tropical sunset. It's also a popular place to spend an entire day with the island's best and safest swimming, body surfing, and snorkeling areas. Not only is Kauai a beautiful island, it's an island of mystery and legend. Foremost among the legends is that of the Menehune, said to be an ancient race of leprechaun-like people only 2 feet tall. As you travel around Kauai, you'll see several surviving structures, such as the Alaikoko fish pond and the Menehune ditch, said to have been built by the little people.
Now, while there's no proof that such a pygmy race existed, there's no easy explanation for the things attributed to them. They also love to play practical jokes, so if something happens on your trip you can't explain, it could be the Menehune still hiding in the island ferns.
A second tour takes you north along the Wailua River region, through Princeville and on to the Nepali coast. Your first stop will be at the Wailua River, the only navigable river in the islands. The marina here is the starting point for the trip to the Fern Grotto. This trip has become a must-do for most Kauai visitors. The grotto is a cool, secluded cave filled with gigantic ferns, all behind an 80-foot cascade. As you travel the Wailua River, remember, this was once one of the most sacred spots in the islands, and only royalty visited here. Many ceremonies, including human sacrifices, were held along the banks.
The most famous king of Kauai was King Kamali'i. He stood 6'4". He had rosy cheeks and was naturally tan all over. He was such a looker. The Queen Kahahumanu over in Honolulu came in a royal yacht to check him out. One look and she was a goner. This, she said, is for me. She took him aboard the yacht, and she must have filled him full of okoleha, the native liquor. But when he awoke, he was in Honolulu. And just to show she was a good sport, the Queen married him. And history records that she was so pleased, she sent the yacht back to pick up the king's son. She married him too. Early royalty were a swinging bunch.
As you approach Princeville, a short side road takes you to Kilauea Lighthouse, a beautiful spot for photographs and a great place to view native birds at the sanctuary here. One of the best views around Princeville is the lookout over Hanalei Valley. Past here, the Hanalei to Hana Drive may be the best 9 miles anywhere. Along this narrow road, you see steep cliffs, sandy beaches, taro fields, giant tree ferns, coconut and banana trees, and dozens of waterfalls. And Lumahai Beach is here too. It was one of the filming locations for the movie South Pacific and may be the most photographed beach in the islands. Helicopter tours regularly cover many scenic spots not accessible by car. There's just about any type of flight you want. Half-hour or one-hour flights, champagne flights, around-the-island flights, even flights that leave you on a secluded beach and pick you up later in the day. There are kayak trips up several rivers. And the Nepali Zodiac boat trips skim along the coast to explore sea caves and land on isolated beaches to swim and snorkel. It's a wet ride when surf is high, but worth it. There are 3 excellent golf courses on the island. At Poipu, the Keohuna Plantation Golf Resort is interesting in that the developers left intact the remnants of a former Hawaiian village. Be careful, as you are charged 1 stroke if you land on an ancient stone house or go into a tomb. The Seaside Wailua Golf Course north of Lihue was rated by Golf Digest as one of the top 10 public courses in America. The Princeville Makai Golf Course is a very scenic 27 holes. Each 9 holes is different and named accordingly. Ocean, lake, and woods. Enough said. Nightlife on Kauai is just about anywhere you happen to be. There are luau's and Polynesian reviews at several major hotels. Some of the most fun is at Tahiti Nui restaurant in Hanalei, where the luau has been held for over 20 years. And there are nightclubs and discos at most hotels.
Kauai is an island of beauty with the excitement of a tourist resort or the relaxation of an isolated beach. And prices are generally lower than on Oahu or Maui.
Shouldn't miss activities include seeing Waimea Canyon, swimming, body surfing and sunset cocktails at Poipu Beach, the Fern Grotto, the Hanalei to Haena Drive, and helicopter tours to remote parts of the island.
A 25-minute flight from Honolulu will wing you to Maui, the Valley Isle. Now, many veteran Hawaiian visitors claim it's the best vacation spot of all the islands. The humpback whales must agree. They swim here every year to spend the winter.
Located 75 miles southeast of Oahu, Maui is 2 volcanic peaks connected by a narrow isthmus of land. Most Maui vacationers stay at one of 3 major resort complexes: Lahaina and Kanapali on the west coast, Napali Bay and Kapalua on the northwest coast, or Kihea Wailea on the southwest coast. The most popular destination on the island is the Lahaina Kanapali area on West Maui. During the 1800s, Lahaina was a favorite port for whaling ships. In fact, over 400 whaling ships visited Maui in 1846 alone. Although whaling ships have disappeared from Lahaina, this colorful waterfront town continues to preserve the spirit and architecture of the salty 1800s. Lahaina is still where the action is on Maui. The same narrow streets where Mark Twain and Herman Melville walked over a century ago are now lined with dozens of restaurants, nightclubs, and gift shops. And it's just the right size for walking. Everything is within just a few blocks of the harbor. A popular stop in Lahaina is the Pioneer Inn, one of Hawaii's oldest hotels. Built in 1901, the original structure still stands and the floors still have some original planks underfoot. As you tour Lahaina, you'll see the Carthaginian too, which has a small whaling museum on board, and the Whalers Marketplace, a nearby shopping village. And to get an offshore view of Lahaina, take a glass-bottom boat tour of the harbor area. You'll see what's under the waves as well. Running between Lahaina and Kanapali is Hawaii's only operating railroad, the Lahaina, Kanapali and Pacific. The rebuilt 1890 sugarcane train runs over 6 miles of narrow-gauge track between the town and the resort. The narrated ride, which goes by cane fields, mountains, and seashore, is 25 minutes each way. In central Maui, the most popular attraction is the drive up the Iao Valley Road. The 3-mile drive up through a spectacular ravine ends up at Iao Valley Park and one of the island's most photographed spots. the Iao Needle. They say the invading Kamehameha threw his enemies from the top. You can wade and swim along the way and visit the colorful Kapaniwai Heritage Gardens. The primary attractions in southwest Maui are miles of beaches. Here, you find Wailea, one of Maui's excellent planned resort areas. It's 3 times the size of Waikiki. Upcountry Maui is dominated by Maui's greatest attraction, Mount Haleakala, the House of the Sun. The crater of this 10,000-foot high dormant volcano is 21 miles across and is so rugged it's compared to the craters on the moon. It's most spectacular at sunrise, and if you catch it when the clouds are just right, to be here can be one of the most inspirational experiences in life. To get to the top before sunrise, plan on leaving your hotel around 3 a.m. Also, take plenty of warm clothes as the temperature can be near freezing before dawn. One of the unique Maui experiences is a 3-hour, 38-mile bicycle coast down the winding road from the summit of Haleakala. Because it's all downhill, almost anyone who has ever ridden a bike can enjoy cruising in and out of clouds, past eucalyptus forests, and through the relaxing Maui countryside. This trip is something you can't do anywhere else. Everyone who comes to Maui should take the drive to Hana. Along the way, you'll find 617 turns and 56 bridges. There are waterfalls, pools to swim in, banana and coconut trees, old churches, and traditional Hawaiian farms. Take your time and enjoy. Eventually, you reach Heavenly Hana, a quiet village with a strong Polynesian character. Here, you should get out of your car and spend some time. Swim at Hana Beach Park. Hike or ride horseback in the surrounding hills and visit the Hasegawa General Store. There's only one hotel here, the Hotel Hana Maui, and it's often booked 6 months in advance. South of Hana are the 7 sacred pools, part of Haleakala National Park, a perfect setting for swimming, picnicking, and camping. An advantage of staying on Maui is that 2 other islands are easily reached for half-day or full-day trips. Molokai is only 6 miles away, and Lanai is only 8. Tour operators will take you from Lahaina by sailboat, cruiser, catamaran, or trimaran to spend time on either island. There are also commuter flights to Molokai. Molokai, the Friendly Isle, once was the site of a leper colony. Now it's for vacationers who appreciate quiet beauty. A popular trip is the mule ride down the side of the mountain to visit the old colony. And you can visit the Molokai Ranch Wildlife Park, where exotic animals are raised for sale to zoos and game reserves. There's also one of the most out-of-the-way resorts in the islands, the Sheraton Molokai. Maui is the winter home for over 400 humpback whales. They come here to mate, give birth, and nurse their young in these protected waters. The peak viewing season is from January through April. You may see a few from shore, but the best way to meet a humpback is on a sightseeing cruise. Several operate out of Lahaina. When you visit Maui, you shouldn't miss sunrise on Haleakala, the Hana Drive, walking through Lahaina, whale watching, Iao Needle, and all the fantastic beaches.
Hawaii, the Big Island, lies 200 miles southeast of Oahu. And big it is. At 93 miles long and 76 miles wide, it's bigger than all the other Hawaiian islands combined.
The Big Island has the only active volcanoes in Hawaii. There are rainforests, deserts, black sand beaches, grasslands, and even snow-capped mountain peaks. And it's still relatively undiscovered by most tourists. There are two distinct sides to Hawaii. The east side has Volcanoes National Park and the city of Hilo. The drier, west side is the center of the tourist resort development with golf, fishing, boating, and other activities you expect to find in such areas. On the east coast, Hilo is worth visiting. But it's not a tourist town. It's the center for the island's commerce. Fishing, ranching, agriculture, and a flourishing flower industry all contribute to the island's income. You can begin your day at 7:30 in the morning at the Suisan Fish Market, where you can watch giant tuna, mai-mai, and other fish being auctioned off in Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiian, and English. At Sampan Harbor, daily catches are unloaded around 5:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Nearby is Liliuokalani Gardens, a beautiful 30-acre oriental park, and Coconut Island with an impressive view of Hilo and Hilo Bay. East of downtown Hilo is Wailuku River State Park, where you'll find rainbow falls and boiling pots, a good place for a picnic lunch. One thing obvious about Hilo is that it is wet. It rains about 140 inches each year. This moisture and warm temperatures make an ideal climate for orchids. Many gardens and nurseries are open to the public, including the Hilo Orchidarium, Orchids of Hawaii, and Nanimau Gardens. If you make reservations, you can visit the Hawaii Tropical Botanical Garden, 5 miles north of Hilo. Driving south out of Hilo on the road to the volcanoes, there are several stops to make. The Mauna Loa Macadamia Nut Plantation, Kaimu Black Sand Beach, great for beachcombing and spectacular photographs, and the Queen's Bath, now a popular swimming spot, but once reserved as a bathing area for Hawaiian royalty. Finally, 30 miles from Hilo, you enter the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, the most popular attraction on the Big Island. There are two active volcanoes, Mauna Loa, which soars to almost 14,000 feet, and Kilauea at slightly over 4,000 feet. When these volcanoes erupt, they do so relatively gently with spectacular fire fountains and lava flows that form rivers and lakes of lava on their way to the sea. They're so safe that when there is an eruption, airlines and hotels are immediately fully booked and roads to the park are jammed. You have about a 2% chance of seeing a volcanic eruption during your visit, and each usually lasts less than a week. You can call the park for volcano updates. Start at the Volcano House Hotel on the rim of Kilauea to view the 2-mile-wide crater and the smaller fire pit at the bottom. If you can get reservations, this is an interesting place to stay a night or two. They say the fire in the main fireplace has been kept continuously burning since the 1870s. Drop in the Visitor's Center, walk the Devastation Trail, drive the Chain of Craters Road, and play golf on one of the most unusual courses anywhere, on the rim of an active volcano. You won't fall in, but occasional steam vents can distract the best golfers. On the western shore of the Big Island is the sun-soaked Kona Coast and its major resort town. Kailua Kona is the center for marlin fishing, and some of the best is found as close as 1 mile offshore. Charter boats are available and the success rate is high. Marlin in excess of 1,300 pounds have been caught here, and even if you don't fish, you can enjoy watching the boats return each evening. Kailua Kona actually is the town in the area stretching 5 miles to the south. The main part of the town lies on one street and is easily explored on foot. There are open-air restaurants, interesting shops, and several important historic sites. Among these are the royal compound of King Kamehameha the Great. Hulihehe Palace. And Moku'aikau and St. Michael's churches. And don't miss a visit to the Kailua Candy Company. South of Kailua Kona, there's St. Peter's Catholic Church. Hardly larger than a playhouse, it was built on the site of an ancient Hawaiian temple to overcome superstition. As you drive along the Kona Coast, the beaches are rimmed with cocoa palms leaning against the trade winds. The sun bounces on the sea and explodes into instant diamonds. On such a day here in 1779, Captain James Cook was rowed ashore with 10 Royal Navy Marines. Cook named the islands the Sandwich Isles for the Earl of Sandwich, who financed the voyage. Cook made charts and took sun and star sights on the beach at Kealakekua Bay.
On one particular morning, he went ashore to recover a small boat that had been stolen during the night for the nails. The island Wahinis were mad for iron nails, which they bent into fish hooks. The sailors were mad for the beautiful Wahinis, whom they bent to their wills, you might say. The sailors pulled nails out of their ship Resolution until she was barely holding together. The captain thought he would have to glue his vessel together to get back home.
A few miles south are St. Benedict's Church, one of the island's 2 painted churches, and the restored city of Refuge. Offenses in ancient Hawaii were dealt with severely, with the death penalty not uncommon. However, if the offender could reach the city of Refuge safely, he could be blessed by a priest and return to his family. The city of Refuge here, or Pu'uonua o Honaunau, is now a National Historical Park. At Napo'opo, the Kealakekua Underwater State Park offers snorkelers and divers 100 feet of visibility with thousands of tropical fish and spectacular coral growths. There are 5 spectacular golf courses in the area. Some of the courses are cut through lava fields, and several have the ocean coming into play. The northern end of the Big Island is Hawaiian cowboy country. The Parker Ranch covers 250,000 acres here, and it's the largest privately owned ranch in the United States. Waimea is a neat little town with quaint buildings lining the street. This is where the cowboys gather. To learn how all this got started, stop at the Parker Ranch Visitor Center. One last item the venturesome may want to try is snow skiing on Mauna Kea. Some of the best resorts in the islands are located on the Kona Coast of Hawaii. One of the first was the very exclusive Kona Village Resort. Kona Village is what most people imagine when they dream about a Hawaiian vacation. Thatched roof cottages are located along the beach beside lazy lagoons or hidden in groves of palm trees. And on Friday nights, they hold one of the best luau's in the islands. This is the sort of luxury that Hawaiian royalty must have enjoyed.
Awila mahaka hikina alama o Hawaii Awila mahaka hikina alama o Hawaii Aina ia mai kapuana kala ni kahavika he no e ala
When you come to the islands, you miss a lot if you don't spend a few days on the Big Island. You shouldn't miss Volcanoes National Park, marlin fishing or just watching, skiing on Mauna Kea, Kona Village Resort Luau, and orchids in Hilo.
Mahalo. Well, that's our tour. We visited 6 different islands and discovered the unique personality of each. From scuba diving to helicopter rides. From people watching in Waikiki to whale watching off of Maui. From golfing on a live volcano to snow skiing on a dormant one. Where else but paradise? Now, in the final section of our program, we'll share some tips on how to make your trip to Hawaii both easy and fun.
Most first-time visitors to Hawaii land at Honolulu International Airport and spend their first night at one of the hotels lining Waikiki Beach. Honolulu is served by several major domestic airlines as well as foreign carriers and charter lines. Hawaii used to have official kissers to greet visitors. In more leisurely days, everybody came by ship. When jets started bringing in 500 people at a time, the kissers had to give it up. They said their lips got too tired. Today, you get this treatment only if you're with a tour or charter group. A special tip. When you're flying from the mainland, try to get a seat on the right side of the plane. That's where your first view of the islands will be best. From the Honolulu airport, you have several options to get to your hotel. Taxis are always waiting, and the fare to Waikiki is about $13. Many hotels provide free shuttle service, and Gray Line provides bus service to several Waikiki hotels for about $5. Municipal buses serve the airport, but this may not be very convenient if you have much baggage. In Hawaii, you fly from island to island as casually as you commute on a train or bus at home. There are several commuter airlines in the islands. Aloha Airlines has its Spirit of Hawaii service. It's the only airline with an all-jet fleet and first-class sections where you can mingle with other passengers in a private lounge. Hawaiian Airlines and Mid-Pacific Air have both jet and prop planes serving all the major islands. Each airline has a number of inter-island flights every day. Have your travel agent find out about combination fares from the mainland to the outer islands. If you want to start your visit on one of the outer islands, there are some direct flights from the mainland to Kauai, Maui, and Hawaii. For a different look at the islands, American Hawaiian Cruises offers 3-, 4-, and 7-day runs through the islands on either of its 2 ships. Each makes several stops ranging from a single afternoon to allow shopping to 2 days on Maui to let you explore at a more leisurely pace. The ships have swimming pools, a golf driving range, jogging tracks, gyms, tennis, and of course, great food and nightlife. These cruises are usually booked months in advance, so get your reservations as quickly as possible. Getting around on the islands, especially the Big Island, is most convenient with a rental car. You can run on your own schedule and take time to stop at those special, out-of-the-way places you find. All the major rental companies are here, as well as several island-only agencies. Cars can be rented at all the airports and in the larger towns. Be sure to make reservations and check rates, as there are a lot of excellent packages available. There are a number of tour companies on each of the major islands. They go to every major attraction and do all they can to make your visit easier. There's the opportunity to meet new friends, and a tour guide will keep you entertained with facts and legends about each area. At Waikiki, getting around is easy. You can walk just about anywhere, or for fun, take a pedicab. There's an excellent and inexpensive bus system called the Bus, which actually runs throughout the entire island of Oahu.
Now, you may have heard that the Hawaiian language has no word for weather. That's because the weather is so reliable, no one seems to pay any attention to it. In resort areas, winter temperatures range from an average low of 65 degrees to an average high of 79 degrees, and from 73 degrees to 87 degrees in summer. As you move away from the beach areas and get higher in altitude, average temperatures will range from the 50s to the 70s.
The greatest chance for rain is during the winter, when resort areas will average 3 to 4 inches a month. During the summer, these same areas will average less than an inch each month. Most people just ignore the rain, as the showers never seem to last long. The sun comes out and your clothes dry in minutes. Lightweight, comfortable clothing is the rule throughout the year. Of course, lightweight and comfortable covers a wide range of attire.
from minimal bikinis on the beach to shorts for touring to high fashion chic for night.
Only a few exclusive restaurants require a coat and tie. To ward off the noonday sun, bring a hat or buy one made of cocoa frond. For the winter months, pack a sweater for the cool evenings and a small umbrella. Also bring a heavier jacket if you're going to visit any of the mountainous areas on Kauai, Maui, or the Big Island.
Hawaii is the land of resorts. In fact, some of the most fabulous lodging facilities in the world are found here. Both hotels and condominiums are popular, and they can be found in all price ranges. In general, ocean views are more expensive than garden or mountain views. There are hundreds of package deals available, and you'll need to work with your travel agent to find what's best for you.
Most of the hotel rooms on Oahu are concentrated in the Waikiki area. In fact, there are over 30,000 rooms in this area alone. That's half the rooms you find on all the islands. And they come in all price ranges, from small budget condo rooms a few blocks from the beach to luxury oceanfront suites costing over $1,000 a day. The most famous hotel in Waikiki is Sheraton's Royal Hawaiian. Known as the Pink Palace of the Pacific, this 600-room hotel has been a favorite of prominent Hawaii visitors since it first opened in 1927. The Halekulani Hotel has an atmosphere of elegance worthy of its Hawaiian name, the house befitting royalty. And the lounge here, the house without a key, has a beautiful view of the ocean and Diamond Head. There's the Kahala Hilton, considered by many to be the finest hotel in Honolulu. It's especially popular with celebrities, and with good reason. In Waikiki, the Hyatt Regency Waikiki at Hemater Center takes up an entire block. 1,234 rooms rise in twin towers on either side of a 10-story high atrium, designated the Great Hall. And the Hilton Hawaiian Village covers 20 acres. There are 2,600 rooms, more than 100 shops, and over 20 restaurants and lounges. It even has its own 72-foot catamaran, the Hilton Rainbow One. Kauai has an excellent combination of hotels and condominium complexes, and it has some of the island's newest resorts. At Poipu Beach, you'll find the Sheraton Kauai, with most rooms overlooking the ocean. The Kiahuna Plantation Resort, with over 300 one- and two-bedroom condo units. The Poipu Beach Hotel, and the Waiohai Hotel. In Lihue, the Kauai Hilton and Beach Villas are only 10 minutes from the airport. The Sheraton Coconut Beach Hotel is in Wailua. Polynesian art is the main decor. All rooms have lanais, and most have ocean views. The rooms at the Coconut Palms Resort have unique decor, and there are even thatched roof honeymoon cottages near the lagoon. At Princeville, there are some 19 condominium complexes, such as Hanalei Bay Resort, situated around the golf course. Special golf and tennis packages are available, and there is swimming, snorkeling, sailing, and horseback riding. The new 300-room Sheraton Princeville Hotel sits on 3 terraced levels overlooking the bay. Maui has its own collection of special hotels. At Kanapali Beach, the Hyatt Regency Maui can only be described as spectacular. There are 60 waterfalls, beautiful works of art, and a 100-year-old banyan tree growing in the lobby. The Sheraton Maui has one of the best Polynesian review shows, and its discovery room is a great place for breakfast. At sunset, they have a very impressive torch lighting ceremony. About 3 miles north of Lahaina is the Kanapali Beach Resort, Hawaii's first planned development. There are 6 major hotels and several condominium complexes, all located along some of the finest beachfront on the island. At Wailea Beach, Stouffer's Wailea Beach Resort is surrounded by acres of gardens, waterfalls, streams, and a beautiful beach. Hawaii's big resorts are along the Kona Coast on the western side of the island. The Monolani Bay Hotel is one of the newest and most luxurious on the Big Island. It sits on black lava flows and reminds you of a giant arrow aimed at the beach. 40 acres of ancient Hawaiian fish ponds and walking trails have been preserved around the site. The Kona surf is built on the very edge of the ocean. The lack of a beach is more than made up for by the views of waves crashing against lava cliffs. There are both fresh and saltwater swimming pools and a golf course. The Mauna Kea Beach Hotel is luxury in a different atmosphere with lavish landscaping and a priceless art collection. Hotel guests enjoy exclusive hunting rights on nearby Parker Ranch, and marlin fishing is nearby.
Now that you've seen how beautiful Hawaii really is, I'm sure you'll want to come here and experience it yourself. I'm James Farentino, wishing you a wonderful trip and lasting memories. Aloha.
There are many other Rand McNally programs to great vacation destinations around the world. For a free brochure, call this toll-free number or ask for Rand McNally video trips at your favorite video store or bookstore. Best way to make sure your vacation is exactly the way you want it to be.